Hi, my name is Ashiauna, Medical Intuitive, and today I wanted to talk to you about the power of attention, what we put our attention on. Now, there is such an incredible high value, a preciousness of what we put our attention to. That's how we create our reality. That's how we manifest. That's how we build the infrastructure of our reality, is what we focus on. I remember when I was younger, I was taking skiing lessons, and the ski instructor said, well, if you want to just go in a particular direction, look that way, and that's the direction you will go. And it is such an incredible metaphor for how we can work with our attention and what we focus on and how we create our lives. And it's so true. What we focus on, where we look, that is the direction that we're going to go. And as we're in this time, as we're facing these challenges, it's really important to understand that what we focus on, we're going to increase in our reality. If we're going to focus on the pain, the suffering, all of the challenges, we're going to grow those challenges. Now, if we focus on gratitude and love and peace and creating healing and manifesting from the space of the universal life force energy, we're going to increase that in our lives. Now, looking at it at another level, looking at it within the arena of how do we shift a perspective, a mindset, or even old patterning of thinking, old habituated ways of seeing a situation or handling a situation. One of the best ways to have that shift, to make that change, is to redirect your focus, your attention on the things that you want to create in your life. For example, let's say you have had a lot of trauma in your history and you've done a lot of work, or maybe a little bit of work, or maybe no work on releasing and healing these traumas. Okay, and so when you're going about your life and you have a situation where your traumas are triggered, what you can do as you are attempting to clear, have a different experience, manifest a new perspective, it really comes down to where you put your attention. So say you're triggered by a situation, you have all the feels going on in your body, your mind is going in on the story that happens every time. One thing you can do is say, I'm going to put my attention on learning my lesson as a soul being and figure out a way to become stronger because of this. You put your focus on growing your ability to learn from that situation. And you are given so much space within your being to do that because of what you're putting your attention on. If you're putting your attention of, oh, this just hurt, that person hurt me again, I can't trust, it's just another example of how love is going to create harm in my life, well, then that is going to be your experience because you're putting your focus on that. Now, that doesn't mean that it didn't happen in the past, and that may not even mean that it didn't happen in that moment. It could be true. It could be true that you were hurt and you're suffering and you're struggling over it. But what you can do with your attention is you can say, I'm going to put my attention and focus on how I can learn my lesson so I stop creating this in my life, and focus on that. Focus on the opportunity to learn. What you focus on, you will increase. Our attention is priceless. Our attention is one of the hottest commodities on the planet right now. What do you think they're trying to do with our phones and having our our attention on what's going on in worldly matters, it feeds it. It gives it power. So to reclaim our own attention, what we choose to put our attention on is an act of power. It is an act of taking your power back and saying, I'm going to choose where I put my attention. You know, for me, I'd like to put my attention on the things that create love, that create joy, that create wholeness, that create abundance, that creates togetherness and connectedness. And those are the places that I go as I reframe my moment and say, okay, this is what I want to create. I want to create peace. So you focus on peace. Focus on, what does that look like? Maybe I should meditate instead of getting on my phone. Because where you put your attention, that is what you're going to grow in your life. Ashiana, medical intuitive. I hope this teaching serves you well. Many blessings to you. Give a like, give some comments, subscribe, and I look forward to hearing from you and sharing more information. Blessings.